Gemini Venus, this is your reading for December 2024 for love and relationships. If you don't know your Venus sign, check out a website like Astro Charts where you can get your full astrology birth chart. You need to just know your Venus sign. But this is for Geminis, okay? So I'm just recently getting over a sickness. Apologies in advance. I'm clearing my throat and maybe having to take a break for a coughing fit or something, but I'm just so glad to be doing these again because this last week has been so terribly boring. So, Gemini, Venus and Gemini. Get a singles and relationships oracle deck. This is for your you and I relationship reading. Gemini, Venus. Being needy. Make friends and spend time by yourself to take the pressure off your relationship. Okay. Okay. We're going to use the Mystic Mondays Tarot to do your reading today. Gemini, Venus, Gemini. Tough to shuffle, but pretty pictures. Very simple. On the holographic edges. It's really pretty. Gemini, Venus. How are you showing up in this relationship reading, Gemini, Venus? I've noticed when watching back my videos that I watch a lot of tarot readers on YouTube, and I noticed that my particular style is very peaceful and sleep-inducing. There's I feel very comforted by it. It's kind of strange when I've made content on YouTube in the past and I was just being myself. It was sort of hard to watch. But when I watch this, it just feels almost like a character. I promise you I'm being absolutely authentic. But I think by using, and maybe this is some weird spiritual woo shit, but by using the name Podkane, I'm creating a character to kind of separate myself from it. Because when I watch it, it's like, I know it's me and yet it's not. It's so strange. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but anyway, it's very easy to watch myself in this channel, doing readings, it's no trouble at all. So that's been pretty nice. But one thing I have noticed that I never even realized about myself is that I have a calming kind of demeanor when I'm doing these readings, where it's just very peaceful and soothing. I fall asleep to rewatching my old readings. Gemini Venus, how are you showing up this month in your relationship? Ten of Swords reversed. No, not a self-sabotage. What about them? Your person. This could be someone you're currently in a relationship with. This could be an ex, or I do think it can mean someone that's very, very close to you. You'll just have to see there's a lot of clarifiers here. So you can see if, okay, this matches up, so this is definitely this person or not. Get my tea out of the way. Oh no. Okay. Focus. We've got the Princess of Wands. So it's just a Page of Wands in this deck. So they definitely have a message to share. What's that message about? Clarifiers here. What's Venus and Gemini person's message about? We have Iron, Hourglass. Looks like a family. Just got these, really love them, but don't have them memorized. Iron, put things right and find solutions. Time is of the essence. Family, dealing with family members. Okay. Their message is it's important to put things right now with family, and time is of the essence. Period. Okay, so what is the issue? What is the issue between you right now? Okay, there's a codependency here. Anything else about that codependency? It's about an emotional insecurity. There's emotional insecurity and childishness, and it's creating a codependency. It's time for that to be brought to a close with the world. What do you want, Gemini Venus, in this situation? You want to be noticed. You want to be taken seriously. You want your dreams and your goals to be taken seriously as well. Those are two very powerful cards. They're both major arcana. What do they want? What do they want? Venus, Gemini Venus's person want in this situation? The outcome that they're hoping for. Two of Swords, a decision to be made. And a new emotional beginning. It's a shit or get off the pot moment for you. They really need you to come correct about this situation and not being so this emotional immaturity and dependency is not going to be sustainable. It's not going to be entertained by them any longer. They need a decision. What are your fears? Gemini Venus, what are your fears in this situation? Irreconcilable differences. Looks like a Atlas, the man with the world on his shoulders. Person holding the world, heavy responsibility, weight of the world. Maybe they're asking you to take on a new responsibility for yourself that you feel like you're just not capable. Okay. What are their fears? What's their person's fears in this situation? King of Wands and King of Cups reversed. Having to take such an authoritative control that there's like a jealousy and closed offness and making wrong choices based on a feeling of righteousness, but not being right at all because there's no sensitivity to the intuition or the emotions of the moment. And get a clarifier on that as well. 86 looks like a microphone. No, it's a pencil. Potential in its purest form, testament to learning and creativity. I think they're afraid of becoming like they're afraid of taking too much control, being too damaged or hurt by the situation, becoming closed off. They're afraid of the potential of this, of the King of Wands reversed and the King of Cups reversed. They don't want to turn into a monster. They want you to take initiative and control over your own life. They don't want you to make them the bad guy. They don't want to become the bad guy or girl, you know, however it resonates. How you see them. How does Gemini Venus see them? They're everything to you. You depend on them quite a bit. Excuse me. The Three of Pentacles reversed on the bottom of the deck. I feel like you just don't feel like you measure up to their quality of mastery and skill. I don't think that matters. They just want you to start learning now. It's hard to make, if you don't try and learn from failure, then you'll never get to that mastery either. They had to learn, so must you. How do they see you? Eight of Cups. You're not ready. They don't see you as ready to heal yet. Move past this. Replaying old wounding, replaying old anxieties and fears. Childhood wounding. Something happened in your childhood to cause you to be this way out of a defense mechanism, being very reliant on other people and depending on them for nurturing and for emotional stability and love, feelings of worth. There's the attention aspect here with the Star. This neediness was created because of something that happened a long time ago, and they have realized that this needs to be healed. And I think because of their skills and talents and strengths, they know that what it takes to heal that is learning through experience that, in fact, you can do it, that you are capable. How can you support them right now? How can... Not me fixing my bra and how I can be supported. Why is my phone going off? You need to set up things that will support yourself. Period. How can you support them right now? Be strong. Be independent. Be strong and build this independence for yourself. And the Nine of Pentacles with the peacock. Normally this has a woman in a garden and she has all these grapes around her. And in the original tarot, grapes signified it was very difficult to grow grapes with talent and skill and ability to you know, to like create a winery and create fine wines and stuff. That showed a lot of patience, skill, and talent. And so symbolically that shows someone that has had the patience, strength, and the discipline to create something very valuable and sustaining and special and crazy. That is how that you can help them, is by helping yourself, by working towards this fostering of your own independence so that you can move beyond this codependent relationship that is such an I'm not enough, so I need you, into an interdependent relationship where it's the true sign of the Lover's upright, right? Where both parties have natural strengths and weaknesses, and the strengths are played up to and the weaknesses are covered. They very much listen to the Princess of Wands. They have a message for you. They are telling you, they are speaking truth to power right now, Gemini. And it's important that you listen to their wisdom because they know what the fuck they're talking about. This is how you can ask them for support. It's the Six of Swords. There may be certain things that you have acknowledged that environments, and pardon me, you need some new environments here that will help you break your mind free of those old coping mechanisms. So when you identify that, hey, when we go to my family's house, I kind of feel like I see myself regressing into like this infantile state that is really not productive to my growth right now. So I need your help in backing me up on not going to the family Christmas for this year, because it's just, if that's the case for you, okay? I'm not saying that's the case, but this is an example. When you identify things that are triggering for you to take you back into that infantile state, you could be triggered by other things too. And this distinction is important. This is coming to my mind immediately to make this distinction to you. You're not going to get away from all your triggers. It's important to face many of them now with the discipline and the strength to grow. The distinction that needs to be made is this a trigger that is causing me to revert back to this very dependent and insecure state? Or is this a trigger that is pushing me to a new situation, especially that is pushing me to adopt more self-reliance and internal self-love and self-trust? We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. Okay. What are you learning? Yes. Four of Swords. What else? What is Gemini Venus learning right now? Actually, that was for me. Maybe take a pause. What is Gemini Venus learning right now in this relationship? Gemini Venus learning right now in this relationship. Oh. Nine of Swords. Those fears, those anxieties, what about them? Identifying them, for sure. The source of them. Beating the fuck out of them. Beating that ass. Conquering them. How powerful that feels. Man, I gotta give it out to your person this month. They know how empowering it would be for you to do this, to identify these fears and things that torment you and win. Yes, it would help them, of course. You know, there's a lot of pressure that you're putting on them, and that's tough, but I see so much more elements here of how they know how much this would help you and make you, they see this best version of you. They see you breaking change, breaking change, making change, breaking chains, the devil reversed. They are holding a vision of you that has overcome this and become so powerful. What are they learning? It's Venus, Gemini Venus's person learning. The moon, their fears, their subconscious, what's hidden. What about it? Anything about clarifiers there? Three of Cups reversed. The ways that it's been hidden to them how unsupportive they might have been in moving forward. Ways that their support has actually caused more problems. In their attempt to take control, Chariot reversed. They've babied you. They've prevented you from a lot of growth. I think they really meant well, but it's time now that they realized that this feels like tough love, but this would be so empowering to you. And I think they're really clear-sighted now about how supportive they can be if they change the frame of reference. They want so badly to support you. I think that's how y'all got together to begin with, because you were needy and they wanted to help. And this is a whole new way that they can help that actually causes growth and is empowering to you instead of perpetuating a lot of insecurity and childishness. And I don't mean that to make you feel less than. I have also been codependent in my relationship. And I truly understand how it happens. But growth is beautiful. They know this, and they don't want to prevent you from falling anymore. They don't want to prevent you from making mistakes anymore, or from hurting a little bit, because they know the opportunity is so magical and wonderful, and you're ready. What are you releasing, Gemini Venus? What are you releasing right now in your relationship? What are you releasing? Okay. There's, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, there's something about dependency that is constantly trying to make offers to gain something. And I think you're learning more now about how that instinctual mechanism has really debilitated you, and the real reason why you do that. Playing nice and you know, the Knight of Cups, being very empathetic, and a lot of that behavior is very self-serving, and you're realizing now why you did that. And it was, you felt in order to get your dependency needs met, you had to endear yourself to people and attach yourself to people, and make them love you so that they would give you what you couldn't give yourself. You felt that you couldn't give yourself. But with the Magician here, you're also releasing out of yourself the knowledge that you have everything that you need already within you. Yes, you will make mistakes. Yes, there will be missteps, but it's never been any different for anyone else in this world. And you're coming to that realization now that this is the process. It's a beautiful process. It's a necessary process. They need balance. They are releasing that concept that they can't be with you if they can't be in control. And I think this is something that they may have feared in themselves here. That if you were so needing of them to make your life happen, right? You needed them to make your life happen. That they felt like they needed to be in control so that the relationship could be sustained. Now they realize that they can't control the relationship because it's turning them into a monster, okay? It has the potential to do that, and they are terrified of that. They are now understanding and letting go of these concepts that they need to be in control. And in exchange, they're releasing their sense of balance, their sense of moderation. They don't have to take responsibility for anyone other than themselves, that they can be given to in a way that is holistic and helpful and progressive. It moves the relationship and both of you forward. Excuse me. Okay, let's use the Hidden Truth Oracle to see what your person would want to say to you this month. Gemini Venus, what does your person want to say to you? I loved when I saw you with someone. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, so this whether this literally happened or not, here's the tea. They did not recognize how your Knight of Cups behavior was endearing yourself to them in order for them to take responsibility for your life. When they saw you do this to another person, that's when their whole perspective started to change and shifted. They realized that this is a pattern of behavior as wonderful and sweet as you can be. It is toxic. It is harmful to you and to others. And they recognized it at that moment when they saw you do it to someone else. It may not even been romantic. I honestly feel for most people it wasn't. It's so subconscious in you, you don't realize it. I think knowledge is power, and power is necessitates responsibility. If you don't know, what can you do? But now that you do know, you must do something. What else do they want to let Gemini Venus know right now? I love you unconditionally. They do not hold ill will towards you for doing this. They are, like I said before, they are very clear-sighted about why this happened and why you did this. And they love you in spite of all of it. They're here for you. But they know now. They know too much now. And they're not going to let this continue on the way it has been. They are not going to get in the way of your independence and your growth and your taking responsibility for your life. And that's it. It's time for change. I hid who I really am from you. In what ways? Got the record, the jack-o'-lantern, and a whale. Protection from evil spirits. They wanted to protect you from what they felt like inside of them was evil. Record playing, replaying old memories, repeating cycles and old stories. Something that is a part of their past. And compassion, and out of compassion and solitude with the whale. I think part of this withdrawing that you may have been feeling from them, where they feel pressured, they're telling you, now's the time, I'm not putting up with this, our family is suffering, our relationship's suffering, we gotta make action on this now. There was a way that they used to be, that they were maybe in a prior relationship or a side of themselves that really scared them, where they were jealous and controlling, domineering, self-righteous, and they saw themselves falling back into this, and they had to withdraw from you because they were so scared of that coming back. And they're grateful for the spiritual lesson. When they saw you act that way towards that other person, whoever they were, it released them from this fear, because it showed them that there's a way out of this, that they don't have to take control over your life. They don't have to become the bad person again and become the zealot and the jealous creep. They can have clarity now on what it is that you really need from them. And it really was actually very meaningful to them. So I think that it's important. They want you to know this, because at this moment in time, you may be feeling like, oh my God, I've been so dependent on them. And like, they're so much more, they're worth more than whatever, right? I can't even get it out. It's just simply not true. They needed this lesson from you as well, to understand that it wasn't right for them to take control over your life and your choices, even though you were trying to give them permission, and it seemed on the surface like that's what all you wanted. And they realize now that there was a deeper contextualization behind all of this, behind the trauma, their trauma, your trauma. And now they've really come full circle on that understanding. It's healed them. They don't have to be afraid of this anymore, of returning to this old way. They know what their path is now with you. And I think they're really grateful to you for not only bringing this positivity and enthusiasm towards them, which is something that they wanted. It's not a bad personality quality whatsoever. It was just a little misused when you didn't know what was going on. Okay. Let's get some this clarifying love situations. Yes. I'm gonna shuffle down here for Gemini Venus. A little clarification card for them. Little advice. Counsel's compass. Seek advice to steer judgment as insightful talks illuminate your journey. They have so much to say about this. They can share their testimony. They've been through this. They know what's going on, and others too. Like there's a lot that you can learn from just talking about how you feel, how you've been afraid to take charge of your life, and all the ways that you've been codependent, and just speak with others about that. Flickering passion. Feelings come and go, or the chemistry is not there. Interesting. I think if you're concerned about this relationship falling apart, self-sabotage and being needy, clinging, and there's some elements of that here, okay? If you're afraid of this relationship falling apart, I think that it's important to know 69, of course. That things come and go, things wax and wane. There's always a season for everything. If you feel them pulling away from you, or normally in the past you were very emotionally close and now they're sort of holding you at a distance, that doesn't mean that you can't become close again. But this situation is asking you to build that self-love within yourself instead of projecting it out towards this person constantly in the hopes that they will then build you up and give you what you need. That time is over. It's very important that my nose is so itchy. It's very important now that they remove themselves from the situation, whether they're doing this knowingly or instinctually or just as a matter of circumstance, right? But it's the universe, it's source, creating this environment so that you have the perfect environment to start turning that love inward and not falling into the old habit of projecting it to receive it. Now you turn it inward and you build yourself up and you look at all of your strengths and weaknesses and you value each and every one of them. You look at the trauma and you honor it for making you strong. You forgive those who have harmed you in the past. This whole thing, it's a whole journey, right? And like, that's a whole other thing, it's kind of the outside the context of this reading, but it's like, this is where you're going right now. And with the flickering passion card, it's saying that you will return to this if it is meant for you. And I do feel they love you unconditionally. And even if they left you, if you actually are separated right now, they could come back around once you become whole. But either way, that's not important right now. And I feel so guilty. I feel so unqualified, I guess, to tell somebody this, that like your heart's been broken and stop worrying about them and just focus on yourself, because That's a devastating thing to go through. But sometimes we haven't found the strength to do it while we're still in the relationship. Whatever we were doing before just worked too well and was too strong of a habit. So that opportunity has been removed because this is incredibly important going forward. And so you have a time period coming up where this relationship and that love feedback is waning out of your life. And that doesn't mean it's gone forever. But it does mean that you're not in control of that. What you are in control of is sorting through what drove you to seek love from others by giving love to others, by learning at some point in childhood that the only way to feel loved was to give love in expectation of receiving it back. So many people do this. Do not be hard on yourself for doing this at all. I see this all the time. It's very, very common, and it's okay. You didn't know better, period. Like, you just, like, it worked. If it worked for a time, like, of course you're going to do it. But you, for whatever reason, okay, my neck is hurting all of a sudden. I don't know what that might mean. Oh, it's stiff. For whatever reason right now, it is incredibly important that you foster self-love to move forward in your growth journey as a human being. Venus is not only about relationships, it is about self-worth, desires, and values. And that's the phase that you're moving into now. So for Gemini Venus, let's get a success card, a bit of Zen wisdom to move them forward in context of their relationship. The world is a stage. Tweedledum said to Alice, "Why are you crying? You are not real. You are only part of the king's dream. If he stops dreaming, you will vanish. You are a ghost in his dream. Do not cry. How can you cry? You are not real." Lewis Carroll, Alice Through the Looking Glass. Excuse me once again. Life is only a great comedy, and you are a mere actor. Become aware of this, and you will no longer have the problem of wanting to be something else in your life. In a play, all the roles are identical. If you feel you are an actor, you will not pose yourself the problem of whether you like your role or not. It is not a good idea to have preferences. Play your part and enjoy yourself. In your life, be an actor and watch the pleasure, displeasure, conflict disappear. You will simply be free. You have preferences if you believe you are the author of your destiny. What difference does it make whether you play one role or another? Man, this is something else. This is a tough concept to understand. First of all, it's strictly in woo territory, okay? But it's also so nebulous, it's hard to get a hold of for someone who might be as rational as you are. The thing is, we are all dealt our cards in life, and wishing and hoping for things to be different. Projecting that into the future might be one thing, but projecting it into the past is so damaging. Disassociation has its uses. And if you disassociate yourself from the outcome of your life to the extent where you look for opportunities in whatever cards you've been dealt to learn something, to enjoy something, to play a new role, to see a new aspect of life. Like when I was sick this last week, I so wanted to do these readings. I was so charged up to do them. And then I worked myself 12-hour days, barely feeding myself, not taking breaks. I was super busy at work all the week before. And I ended up with lowered immune system. I got sick and I hadn't worked at all this week because of that. And it was so disappointing. It was like, okay, fine. I didn't really need the money because I made so much money last week. But also, like, if I'm not going to be doing anything, I can't just sit here. Like, oh my God. And I had to let go of my expectations, my time frame, what I expected to do, what I wanted to do. I'm having trouble now. And this, I've been, sick for 7 days. Like, I'm getting over it now. So there was no fucking way I was going to be doing these readings before today at all. And I had to, in my situation of sickness, first of all, I ended up watching some videos that came across my feed of like people who are struggling with such adversity and find such positivity through it. And that was very inspiring. Be grateful. Have gratitude. Have so much gratitude for your circumstances and situations, whatever they might be. And also, it was an opportunity to learn, to rest, to think, just to recharge, to be taken care of. For me, that's a little tough. To be kind to myself about not working, that one's always been pretty hard. So whatever the situation is bringing you, look for all the ways that you can improve yourself with it. It's here for a reason. So, Gemini Venus, I believe in you. And I know this is just the beginning of something really beautiful for you. Thank you for letting me read for you today. And if you enjoyed this reading, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Subscribe too, because I also do rising sign readings every month. And I've got other stuff in the works as well coming up. And again, thank you so much for letting me read for you. Until next time, bye.